Internationally, the Twin Cities have a reputation for excellence in their parks and natural spaces. Both Minneapolis and St. Paul have repeatedly topped lists of U.S. cities with the best parks and most green space. Most recently, the Trust for Public Land has ranked Minneapolis and St. Paul as number 2 and number 3 respectively in their list of highest-rated cities based on their parks. There is no disputing the fact that the metro area has wonderful parks, but there is a dark duality to the Twin Cities' reputation. With our beautiful landscapes comes unequal access to not only these wonderful green spaces, but to the very basic environmental necessities required to live a healthy life: clean air, water, and landscapes. Minneapolis has a distinct history of inequitable access to green spaces encompassing everything from industry to housing and private property. In the early 1900s, a small set of property developers established neighborhoods with racial covenants, the main legal tool for segregation in the area at that time, as explained by Walker et al. These developers specifically sold land to the city for parkland that would be accessible only to the white landowners who bought the land developed. These maps show the borders of historical racial covenants and the wider environmental and health disparities affecting segregated versus non-segregated communities. The maps shown here depict how historically marginalized neighborhoods have suffered effects such as increased asthma rates and air pollution levels, higher surface temperatures, and lower tree canopy cover, and of course, accessibility to green spaces. Oh, did we say these maps are from the past? Sorry, these maps are from 2021. It has been over a century since the onset of racialized housing and nearly 60 years since the Fair Housing Act illegalized these practices. Yet, the data doesn't lie. Discrimination is still around and kicking in Minneapolis. All you have to do is look to the trees, or lack thereof, to see it. Luckily, today there are many efforts to fight against inequity in urban green spaces. Organizations such as Metro Blooms and community educational areas such as the Bell Museum are leading the charge to bring equitable and sustainable green spaces to the wider metro area. Metro Blooms has opportunities for many levels of organizations, from individual landowners who want to replace their manicured lawns with native lawns, to apartment, community, and school groups developing areas such as rain gardens, native tree gardens, and pollinator gardens. The Bell Museum, which is part of the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences within the University of Minnesota, has their learning landscape, which has similar green spaces to Metro Blooms, such as pollinator gardens and homes, a green roof, weather stations, a rain garden retention pond, and countless educational opportunities which are available to all ages at varying prices, including free opportunities. It's not just local nonprofit organizations striving for environmental justice. The city of Minneapolis itself is also striving for environmental justice and equity. Minneapolis 2040 is part of the comprehensive city plan enacted in January 2020, created to guide the city's growth and development with clear, concise goals with the deadline of the year 2040. The plan aims to address many historic and current deficiencies and disparities in the city, including a significant commitment to combating systemic racism and improving environmental equity among marginalized identities and neighborhoods. To achieve this goal, the city has committed to taking actionable steps. For example, to, quote, establish educational, technical, and/or financial assistance for all environmental health-related programs, regulations, and policies, with an emphasis on environmental justice areas that have historically experienced underinvestment, end quote, 2040. With support from both grassroots organizations and municipal governments, an equitable environmental future for all is within our grasp. To jumpstart your personal journey in finding and/or developing equitable urban green spaces, you can learn from and about the past and present of the situation in your area through libraries, community organizations, and specific developments and policy plans. Many of these places and sources make a variety of resources on the topic, including free and online information and communication methods, alongside physical spaces dedicated to the development of urban green space equity. If you have the opportunity, you can join a specific group to help plan, advocate for, and build urban green spaces. You can also separately advocate for the groups you most align with in everyday life. Learning, communicating, and advocating are the first steps to building and restoring equitable communities, which are strengthened by sustainable and just practices, and areas such as urban green spaces. Each action we take brings us closer to the global goal of environmental and wider societal justice and restorative relationships with all life on Earth.